Gridiron Grinder, hut hut hike.
Recording in progress. Here we go, James. How you doing tonight, my man?
All right, how you doing?
Pretty good. This is Gridiron Grinder, hut hut hike. For tonight, we're going to be doing our Week 11 power rankings and game picks. So yada yada yada. Whenever you're ready, James, why don't you just dive right into those power rankings, my man?
All right, 1, 2 stayed the same. Colts, Lions. I can't believe I'm keeping the Colts up there. Really, and like I was telling you before, ESPN has their season simulator, and it's like basically offensive rank they would end up 15-2. Defensive rank they would end up 11-6.
It's
So
nuts.
that's not that big of a drop off defense offense. Lions, I'd like the win at Washington. I would like to see them score more. Maybe have Laporta get a touchdown or Amon
Well,
Ra a
and it was
couple
a
more
hobbled Washington
touchdowns.
team, but yeah.
Well, I was just talking about fantasy with Laporta and Amon Ra getting more touchdowns.
Sure. Yes. All right. I hear you. Yeah.
All right, then we get to the part where it changed. I made a couple bold moves here with moving the Chargers up 3 spots to number 4.
Okay.
They did beat Pittsburgh, which I don't think is that good of a team, but I just really like what I'm seeing out of the Chargers. Like they beat Pittsburgh 25-10, and their offense really wasn't gelling during that game. Although I did like some of the
It,
hits the defense
yeah,
put on
yeah,
Rodgers.
yeah. Offensively, it started slow and then it just kind of like progressively kept going, right? And then, yeah,
Yeah,
defensively, yeah, there are a lot of pictures going around on Facebook and stuff of like the Aaron Rodgers hits, and it's hilarious, man. He looks like, whoa, what is going on? I'm just getting like railed, and it's like, yeah, dude.
and I said that. Oh no, I skipped the Rams. I have the Rams at number 3, moved up 1 spot. Then the
Okay.
Chargers moved up 3 spots. But yeah, I just like what I'm seeing out of both the LA teams, and that's not because I'm a homer, because I'm in California, blah blah blah.
Sure.
It's
Yeah. No,
um
a lot of people's power rankings have at least the Rams in the top three, and then the Chargers somewhere in the top 10. So there's nothing outrageous about what you're doing.
and the other bold move I made is I moved the Patriots up 4 spots to number 5. They beat a team I had in the top 3 last week,
Okay.
and they really it was the score was close, but they really dominated that game from what I saw.
Gotcha. Yeah, nothing wrong with that, man. Do it to it. I think I'm lagging with a couple of those bigger moves, and it's I say it, but I'm also still like in my mind having a hard time, like just it's like if this was like week two, I think I'd be compelled to just like shake up my board. But because it's week 11, it's like I'm more like slow and steady now with the adjustments, right? And so that's all it is for me. But my top five stayed the same: Denver, Indy, Philly, Buffalo, Kansas City. And part of the reason it stayed the same is that I basically just said, I'm going to call Buffalo losing to Miami a fluke game, and it preserved Buffalo staying above Kansas City, who they just beat the other week, and Kansas City staying above Detroit, who I got at 6, and they beat just a few weeks back. Otherwise, if I was going to penalize Buffalo here, it really kind of like fucked up a lot of harmony on my board. And so I'm just saying, hey, it's a divisional game, it's a fluke game, whatever. Buffalo is always susceptible to that kind of bullshit, and I'm just gonna give them the week and move on. That's all I'm saying.
And so since I have Buffalo at 6, I kept them the same, kind of on the same thing, except for I looked at it more as a trap game.
Sure.
They were playing Miami, who was down, last week, and they have a big game against Tampa Bay this week. Contrarily, I moved Tampa Bay down 4 spots because I didn't view it as a trap game because New England has been playing damn good football
Yeah,
this
they've been
year.
hot.
So it's back-to-back games, back-to-back tough games. So it wasn't a team they could overlook looking at Buffalo. So I moved them down 4. Denver stayed the same. The Eagles, I moved up 5 spots. I didn't like this, but because I think the game was a shit game. There was the halftime score 0-0.
It was all
Um,
defense that game. Yeah.
it was all defense. I think I think that the defense for Philadelphia looked terrible, but Green Bay couldn't get it out of its own way on offense, which is another game. It's like 2 or 3 consecutive game.
Yep. They're
Um,
sputtering. Yeah.
so I didn't really like it, but kind of how the board shook out, and then I had Green Bay and Philly relatively close, and Green Bay I wanted to drop down because I initially had dropped them down because I'm seeing more of a consistent shitty games out of them,
Oh yeah.
but I'll get them. And then Kansas City rounds out the top 10 at number 10. They were on a bye. They didn't play
Yeah.
them.
No
I
reason to
moved
move
them.
them on a bye. I got you. Yeah. All right. So for me at 6, I got Detroit. They were kind of blocked from rising, even though they won, and that's kind of what I was talking about earlier with Buffalo and Kansas City. This just kind of like log jammed them in at 6. 7, the Rams. I bumped them up 1 spot. 8, Seattle bumped them up 1. 9, Tampa Bay dropped them 2. Almost went further because now it gets them close to where I have New England. But like when you look at the combination of moves up and down, I kind of thought, if I go that much farther, it just is like too aggressive of a move for me at this point in the season. I'm going to give Tampa Bay basically another week to see, can they bounce back from that? I know that they've been dealing with injuries and things like that, although they did get Luke Gadecki back for that game against New England. So, just a lot of things I'm trying to, keep an eye on for that. And then at 10, I got the Chargers. I pushed them up 1. I liked the win. I like that they're getting a little bit healthier. But it's kind of like you pointed out, they were very slow offensively early on in that game. And it's not like Pittsburgh's been some powerhouse defense. They've had like one good defensive game all
Mhm.
year, right? And so it does make me wonder, can the Chargers like, actually play consistently well on offense? We know that they've got a depleted offensive line. Amari and Hampton's out. There's just a lot of things that I don't know. It doesn't look like they're firing on all cylinders, and it's great that they ended up coming out winning. But I'm just not like I'm having a hard time pushing them higher than this. And I'm a big Chargers fan, so it's tough for me. But back to you at 11, then.
All right, 11. I have the Seahawks. They were kind of locked here on my board with the top 10, and I couldn't move them up because of like Kansas City and the teams one ahead of them. 12. I have Green Bay. I moved Green Bay down 7 spots. I think this is more of an adjustment. They just lost to Philadelphia. They played like shit, but they've been playing like dog shit for 3 or 4 weeks now in a row offensively.
Yeah,
And it's a lot of it. I don't know if it's Jordan Love. I don't know if it's the play calling, some combination probably, but I don't like what I'm seeing out of them right now. Commanders dropped down 1 spot after the loss. I I thought about moving them further down here, but a lot of teams in here lost, so they are kind of blocked from dropping down too far. Same with Pittsburgh, dropped them down 1. They Pittsburgh's the you hit it. Pittsburgh's defense is kind of dog shit this year, and they're
yeah.
going to end up probably above 500. What are they right now? I want to look at that. They're 5-4 right now, so they're right around 500. If you do it based on defensive rate, if you kind of project the season out, they based on defensive rank, they'll win one more game this year.
Yeah, it's been bad
And it's the same, but that's the same based on offensive rank. They'll win one more game this year.
because they don't have much going on offense.
Ex-
I mean,
no,
honestly,
exactly.
Rodgers and DK Metcalf are not like a match made in heaven, right? Rodgers wants a guy that he can just like throw the ball to a zillion times a game, and he wants massive depth where he can spread it around. Well, Metcalf isn't that kind of guy. Metcalf is a very like, most of the time, get me the ball short yardage situations, and I'll like every now and then break one loose on my own, right? And it just
Hmm.
and then they have really no depth at wide receiver. And they brought in Jonnu Smith to go with Pat Fryermuth, but he's really not doing much with the tight ends. And so I don't know, man. It just not, and we kind of knew going into this year that it just seemed like an odd fit, right?
Yeah.
So whatever.
And then running up top 15 in San Francisco, even though they lost to the Rams, I didn't drop them because I had ended up moving the Rams to the top three. They were top four going into the game. And I just think, like I talked about it, like the Rams are good. And that's why I thought the Rams were going to get past San Francisco, even though McVay's like, he's now
Yeah.
5-11 against Shanahan.
Yeah. Yeah. Not, I mean, I got San Fran in my next tier, but my thing there was, is this the injuries catching them? I know the Rams are on a bit of a heater. Maybe it's a combination of the two because it's a big stretch, 42 to 26. But I hear what you're saying. All right. So then for me at 11, I've got the Patriots. I bumped them up one. Like I said, I wanted to do more, but at this point of the season, I'm trying to not do big kind of like knee jerk moves here. 12 Baltimore, I moved them up one. They're finally creeping their way back up into, you know, like, sort of like the that top tier competitiveness, right? And then 13, I've got Green Bay. I dropped them three. This is because of all of these teams now above them winning, kind of sliding them on the board. And we talked about the offense sputtering for them. 14, I've got Chicago. And this is, they beat the Giants. I get it. But, like you mentioned before the show, some of the offensive projections and whatever. Chicago, we've talked about it, man. They're fucking sneaky good, right? And so I'm just gently moving them up the board to show that they're like in that dark horse contender area now.
Yeah,
And
and the
then at
problem the
15, yeah,
problem
go ahead.
problem with Chicago is really their defense. Like
Yep.
I keep going back to this. Like if you take currently where their defense ranks are right now, and you project out the rest of the season, if based on offensive rank, they won't lose another game. Based on defensive rank, they'll win one more game.
Yep. Yeah, their defense has been letting them down big time this year,
Yeah.
which is strange because they have talent, right? It's just and then their offense obviously has a ton of potential, but it's been very streaky. But we've seen it as the years go on get better and better pretty much week after week. Okay. And then all right, so then at 15, I got Houston. I bumped them up one. Um, I thought it was a nice win. We talked about it last week. We needed to see, what was going to happen now that Davis Mills was in at quarterback with Stroud being in the concussion protocol. And they pulled off the win, man. And so I'm glad that I didn't totally smoke them last week because we were talking about, hey, Davis Mills, he's a seasoned vet for a backup, and you got to give the guy a chance to see what he can do. Back to you at
Yeah, and
16.
it was a nice win. It was with Houston. It was a nice win. I have Houston at 16. I moved them up one. It was a nice win, but it was a nice come from behind win. They were down 17-0.
Yeah.
And where was that? 17-0 with with started the second started the second quarter, and even you go to the fourth quarter, they went into the fourth quarter down by 11.
Okay.
So I mean, it's a nice come from behind, gritty fucking win. No, I'm sorry, they went into the fourth quarter down 19.
Yeah. And to win by 7 is solid, man.
Yeah. So, but anyways, and then I had Baltimore. I moved them up one spot. They beat Minnesota. This is kind of like where I had them. Baltimore, I had at, let me just verify that. I had Minnesota at 16. I had Baltimore at 18 going into the week. So I kind of had to correct it, move Baltimore up ahead of Minnesota because they just lost. Baltimore just beat Minnesota, and I moved Minnesota down 2 spots to 18 because they just lost to Baltimore. 19, I
Sure.
had the Bears. They stayed here at 19
Because
because
they beat the Giants.
they beat the Giants. They beat a team that was in disarray. I'll get to the
Yeah.
Giants a little bit more later, but it's not that impressive a win. 20, I have Jaguars. Even though they lost, I didn't move them. They kind of were blocked here from moving down.
Yeah.
Um, I like the start of the game. It looked like Jacksonville was just going to dominate the game, and then fucking Houston took over.
I hear you, my man. All right, so at 16 for me, I got San Fran. I dropped them 2. We kind of already talked about, the injuries and, LA being on a heater and just everything going on there. And then really from here, 17 to 23, my board got fucking log jammed. And it was a whole bunch of teams losing, but the shit that happened below them kind of just forced them to stay where they were at, right? And so at 17, I got Pittsburgh, 18, Minnesota, 19, Jacksonville, and 20, Carolina. Carolina, I really wanted to drop for losing to New Orleans. But the thing is, New Orleans was in my fucking dumpster fire, which they're now out just barely. But because they were so far apart and everything that happened between these two, unless I did something crazy and did like a fucking 10 spot move, I had to just kind of leave them where they were. And so I just left them where they were.
Yeah, and that's same for me at Carolina. They were blocked. I have them at 21. And like it would be a 10 plus move swing.
It's just too
Or
much at
about a
this
10.
point in the year,
It's
man. Yeah.
it's too much. Every once in a while, you New Orleans is going to win a game here and there. There's no doubt. Like they have, like I've talked about it. What's his face has looked at times. Oh, they started Shaw. I
It's the
forgot about that.
NFL. Any given Sunday, you never know, right?
Yeah, and it's
In New
not
Orleans,
like, but like
defense
with
has talent.
yeah, and New Orleans, it's not like it was a dominant game by either team. I mean, it was 17-7. Carolina's offense fucking blows, but 17-7, and it was a late touchdown to go up 17, and
Oh, we're down to
like
less
I
than a
mean
minute,
Bryce.
my man.
Oh, okay,
I
and
just I
so
just saw the thing.
yeah, and it was like intercept, fumble, interception, intercept. I'm sorry, missed field goal, fumble, interception, interception. That was 4 drives in a row for Carolina. That's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
22 Arizona didn't move, kind of blocked. 23 Raiders didn't move, kind of block. Jets 24 moved up 2 spots off the win because I didn't want to move Tennessee, who was on a bye, who I had at 25.
Right. I'll catch you in 10 and then I'll give you mine, all right?
All right, sounds good.
Recording is in progress. And so if I'm not mistaken, it's me at 21, James.
Yep.
Okay, so as I was saying earlier, 20 up to 23 stayed the same. So Washington 21, Atlanta 22, Arizona 23. So these sons of bitches got lucky because they all lost, but they didn't go down. 24, Dallas, no game, no move. 25, the Miami Dolphins, I gave them a 1 spot bump. I just have no faith in this team this year. And I was not about to do some kind of aggressive move on my board, even though they beat Buffalo, who's sitting in my top five. End of story.
Makes sense. I have Miami Miami at 26, 4 spot bump. You know, I liked what I saw out of the offense this past weekend. I liked what I saw out of Miami. They took advantage of Buffalo shitting themselves, and I like that. So I gave them a little push for this week. This week only. They'll probably be back down
Sure.
at 30 next week, but no, they'll probably be back down at 29 next week. 27 Cowboys, they were on a bye, no move. 28 Saints, they beat Carolina, but I'm not impressed with what I really see down there in New Orleans. 29 Cleveland, didn't drop them because I took a team that was ahead of them and dropped them to 30, and that's the Giants. The Giants are in fucking disarray.
Yeah.
They
Darts
fired
on
their
concussion protocol.
they
Yep.
fired Dayball. Darts on concussion protocol, and
Skadboo's out for the year, which we've known, right? Yep.
exactly,
They
and
already had what's his face out for the year.
yeah,
You
what's
know.
what the fuck's his name?
Uh,
Neighbors,
yeah, neighbors. Yep.
but
Jameis is in this week at quarterback, which means he's
Jameis is
probably going
in
to throw
this.
4 touchdowns
Jameis is in this week at
and 4
quarterback.
picks.
How bad does Russ have to be for Jameis to jump Russ on the depth chart?
I think with the coaching change, to me, it was the right thing to do because Dart is likely going to be out. You might as well give Jameis a chance to shake it up. You know he's a 4 or 5,000 yard a year passer if you let him do it. He's just going to turn the ball over a fuckload of times in the
He's
process.
a 30 for 30, not in a good way. 30 touchdowns, 30
Yeah,
interception
yeah.
passer.
I mean, hey, he's going to make it exciting. It just may not translate to a lot of wins. So, yeah. And what was your thing that you were doing before the show about Cleveland?
Yeah, so based on offensive rank, that for Cleveland, if you do project the season based on defensive rank, they'll finish the season out 8-0. If
Yeah,
you go based
nuts.
on offensive
Won't
rank,
happen.
they'll go 1-7.
Yeah. So they're going 1-7.
Yeah, the Giants based on offensive rank, they'll win 3 games the rest of the season. Based on defensive rank, they'll win 2 games the rest of the season.
I
And
don't know.
this is fucking crazy. But if you go based on defensive rank, the fucking NFC East has one team above 500.
Wow.
Philadelphia. Number 2 in the division is the Giants at 4-13. If you go based on offensive rank, only team only team above 500 is Dallas.
What? This is madness, man.
And then Philadelphia finishes the season 1-7.
Yeah. All right. Freakiness. At 26, I got the Jets. I pushed them up one. 27, the Raiders dropped them two. Close game, but close doesn't mean shit. 28, the Giants. They basically on my board got blocked from dropping here. 29, Cincinnati. They didn't play, so they didn't move. And then 30, the Saints. So the Saints crept out of my dumpster fire, but I still have zero faith in them. So they're going to be right there on the cusp. Oh, did I hear a cork pop off
Oh, you
something?
did.
Oh,
You
son of a bitch. Whoa, son of a bitch. Is that a little blade and bow action?
It is.
Ah,
I just kept seeing it here sitting next to me, and
it was teasing you.
it's like, drink me,
Yes. It
drink
was
me. And yes, it was fucking talking to me. Don't, call me crazy all you want, but cheers, motherfucker.
cheers, my man.
Mm-mm-mm. Dumpster fire. No real changes for me. Atlanta lost, Cincinnati on a bye.
Gotcha. So for me, Cleveland dropped them one, so they're now in the dumpster fire. They've been here before. And then and then at 32, Tennessee. They didn't play, so they're the bottom of the barrel for me.
Oh, is that onto the picks? I really
I
need a
I
drink for
know.
this shit.
Yeah, I know you don't like going to the picks this year, and that's okay.
I lost another 3 games to you. I had got 8 right for a total of 84 on the season, giving me a pick success rate of 56.38%. You motherfucker got 11 right,
Yes.
107 correct on the season, 71.81%.
Yes.
Like, if I look at it, I took some shots. I did.
It was time.
Minnesota,
It was time, right? It was time for you
Minnesota,
to take some swings.
Cleveland, Minnesota, Cleveland, and Green Bay. Those are the
Yeah.
shots I took. I swung and missed.
And they
Okay.
weren't bad shots to take, man. They really weren't. It just didn't play out. Honestly, I could have made the case for all those with you.
Yeah. I'll probably take some more shots this week,
This week you're taking
but
some more shots. Yes.
I couldn't hear them. Yeah. I couldn't hear what you said, but all right. So we both were on New England last night. Yay. We finally started the week out right. Well, I guess we did last week too. So we got 2 weeks in a row
This
starting out
year
right.
has not been bad on the Thursday night games for us, James. It was like the other year where we just like every Thursday night for whatever reason we kept fucking ourselves.
Yeah. All right. So first off, we have the Madrid game. We're sending our best to fucking Madrid. The 3-7 Dolphins and the 3-7 Commanders.
Yes. An injury riddled team and a team that was, fucking fire sale at the deadline.
So let me see. What should we do? So the spread is Miami by 2.5.
See, I'm kind of surprised by that, but I guess I would say I'm surprised by that because it's not in Miami. Okay. So I picked it. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Keep going. Sorry.
So Miami this year, when the spread is between +3 and -3 for Miami, they are a whopping 1-4 against the spread. So that tells me it's going to be a close game. I just I have more faith in Washington than I do in Miami.
Yeah.
And by the way, if it wasn't in Madrid, it would be in Washington, not Miami.
Oh, okay.
Washington's the designated home team.
Gotcha. Okay. So uh I picked Miami. I did this kind of quick yesterday, wanted to send it to you. I felt bad that it took me till Thursday to get you this week. It didn't dawn on me until we were just talking that this game is in Madrid. I am inclined to change it, but I'm not going to because you and I need to have some action. So I'm going to stick with Miami.
Oh, I forgot.
It,
Forgot to
and I would
point out.
say I'm only inclined to change it because I have Washington higher in my power rankings, and I gave it to Miami because they were close enough that I would swing it to the home team, but it's not actually a home game. So,
Interesting, weird stat about this game. This season, Washington is is averaging 4.9 yards per rush. Miami, on average, allows 4.9 yards per rush.
oh, so they're going to be
I
right
just,
on par.
I just thought that was a little weird.
I mean, 4.9 yards per rush, you just run the ball the whole fucking game.
Yeah.
I'll stick with Miami because we need some action.
All right. Then we have the Carolina Panthers at the Atlanta Falcons. let me find my notes for this as we talk about this game.
Atlanta hung in there with Indy. Carolina just lost to New Orleans. You know, I mean, that to me tells you something about this matchup.
So again, this tells me it's going to be a close game. Their Atlanta is minus 3.5, and Atlanta this year as a favorite. Am I talking about the right fucking game? I am. As a favorite, is 1-4 against the spread.
Okay. This sounds like the James I know from past years analyzing this, by the way. Just pointing that out in case that helps you feel more confident with your picks.
I think Atlanta is a get right game for Carolina's offense. If I remember correctly, they beat. Yeah, they did earlier in the season, in week 3. Let me verify this. This can't. I don't think this is my note is
Okay.
accurate. Hold on. Let me verify something.
Yep. Check your stats. While you're checking your
Yes,
stats, I'll
in
just
week
tell.
3.
Oh, okay.
Since then, Carolina's averaged 11.25 points per game. Despite that, I think that 30-0 is sticking out in my head as as something Carolina could do again, and I'm going to go with the Panthers.
Okay. Okay. I'm going with Atlanta. I think they played some inspiring football last week against Indianapolis in what was last week, Berlin or Munich or whatever, the Germany game. And I think their pass rush has come a long way from what we've seen in past years. And I just have zero faith in Carolina, man, and it's in Atlanta, so I got to go Falcons.
All right. Then we talked about this a little bit earlier with the trap game for Buffalo. We have the Buccaneers at the Bills. If this was in Tampa Bay, I might pick this differently. Again, my stats I came up with tell me it's going to be a close game. Buffalo's favored by 5.5. After a loss, the Bucs have covered 6 straight games after a loss. They are 8-1 against the spread after a loss over the past 2 seasons, and 13-4 against the spread since acquiring Baker.
Okay.
I think the Bills are going to win this game. I think it's going to be a 3-4 point game, but I think the Bills are going to win it.
Yeah, I'm going with Buffalo. I got them higher on my power rankings, and it's at home for them. And so that's my normal methodology. I try hard to respect that. What I would say is that this to me is one of those games where you got to watch out because, like we've talked about in past weeks, Buffalo tends to lose to the good teams and they beat up on the bad teams. And this could be one of those games where Buffalo just does not hang in there. And so I just it's not a shoe-in for him is all I'm saying, but I'm still gonna take Buffalo to respect my board and my process and all that shit.
Okay. Chargers at Jacksonville. I'm going to say, honestly, what stuck out in this game when I was picking it was it's in Jacksonville, and I thought about the playoff game 2 years ago.
Yeah, because you got the Chargers in your top 5 now, man.
I know. Chargers are minus 2.5 in this game. Again, it's telling me it's going to be a close game. The last two.
Yeah, they're on the road. I gotcha. Yeah.
Lawrence is 2-0 against the spread against the Chargers.
Okay.
Um, I'm hoping, I'm thinking that the Jags defense can get home a little bit against Herbert. Herbert's been sacked the third most times in the NFL, 33, and he's been hit a league high 134 times
Yeah, that's nuts. And when
this
you
year.
look at everything they did on that offensive line, all those guys are hurt. Nothing even matters. He's just totally exposed.
And Hines Allen needs half a sack to set the all-time franchise record.
Wow. That's he's not even that far in his career.
Yeah. Trevor
Oh,
Lawrence needs one more touchdown to become the fourth Jaguar to throw for to reach 80 passing touchdowns with the franchise.
yeah, I guess there's a lot of low bars in Jacksonville. Um, hey, like I was saying earlier, I'm trying to respect the process of my board. I got the Chargers, you know, up high, top 10. I've got the Jags far enough down that it's just not something I can override. And so if I just go up real quick, I got the Chargers at 10, I got the Jags at 19. If I had the Jags at like 13 or 14, I would think about it, but 9 spots is too far for me to make that kind of an override.
I got you. And I have the Jags down. And I have Chargers so high up.
Yeah, you got a
I just
gut feel, man.
I couldn't get past that playoff game.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Then we have the Bears at the Vikings. Minnesota favored by 2.5. Um, Interestingly, all five Bears games this all five Bears road games this season have gone over the total. All five
Okay.
Vikings games this all five Vikings games against teams with winning records have gone over the total. So that tells me that there's going to be 50 points scored in this game at least because the over under is 48 and a half. JJ McCarthy is one of the league's least accurate passers.
No surprise there.
44th out of 46 QBs that have at least one start. And an off target percentage, 22.1% of the time he's off target.
No surprise there. And he's got great receivers and tight ends, and it's just you just can't get it to him.
Caleb Williams, not not good for my pick. Is 1-7 against the division, 0-2 this year. I'm just going on. This one was like my instant gut feeling on it. I think the Bears offense can get can do better against the Vikings defense
Yeah.
than the Vikings offense can do. I just don't trust the Vikings offense,
No, I
especially
hear
with
you.
McCarthy.
I hear you, man. And so this is one where it's super close for me, right? And so I've got I've got the Bears at 14 on my board, and I got the Vikings at 18. And that's like right in that zone where I would try to cut it off, but because it's like right there and it's a divisional game, I'm gonna give that little bit of benefit of the doubt to Minnesota because honestly, this is like, if it was a non-divisional game, I would probably tip it back just a hair to Chicago. But because it's a divisional game, I'm going Minnesota, man.
Then we have the Packers at the Giants, and I as dog shit as the Packers look this year, I don't trust the Giants.
With Jameis Winston at quarterback and nobody else on offense?
So it'll be it's 7.5. So it'll be less than a touchdown probably. Since 2020, teams that make mid-season coaching changes are 10-5 against the spread in the first game with the new coach.
Yeah, it's like a surprise factor, right?
Yeah. But the Giants are just dog shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to ask yourself, where's it going to come from? It's not like Neighbors is out there and they just were underutilizing him or, you know, any of these talented players on this team. They're, Scatabo, whatever, hurt. It just, I don't know. I mean, I think Tyrone Tracy, he's back, right? But it's like, it just still just, I would not touch the Giants with the 10-foot pole right now,
Yeah.
man.
So the Packers have lost two straight games.
Yeah, this is a good powder puff for them to, get their shit straight.
I haven't checked fully. I didn't note it fully, but it's either their longest losing streak or tied. I'm sorry, their second longest losing streak or tied for their second longest losing streak since 1999 when they lost three straight.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I
Go Pack, go! Even though
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
would
I'm sorry.
not say that.
Now that I read this, it's even more nuanced. The Packers are trying to avoid their third straight game with 13 or fewer points. Third straight loss. I'm sorry, not not losing streak. They've scored less than 13 or they've scored 13 or fewer points in their last two games.
Okay,
Last time they did that in three games was 1999. I
gotcha,
misread
gotcha.
my
Still, still,
there's no way I can pick the Giants to win the game. Packers.
I'm with you. Green Bay, man.
All right. Then we have the
Steelers, Bengals, and
Bengals
Steelers.
at the Steelers. 3-6 at 5-4. Pittsburgh's favored by 5.5.
I don't know how you could pick Cincinnati, man. I mean, all right. So, is Flacco still playing, or did this now go back to Burrow? Because I heard Burrow's, at least they opened up his window, right? But he's not back yet, right?
Right. As far as I know, he's not back yet.
Yeah, and so I mean, I would love to see Flacco get the win again, but I think the reality is this is going to Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna go to the Bengals.
You can flip it, you thieving bastard stable boy.
I'm gonna flip it. In week
It's so hard because Cincinnati has like zero defense, you know, and I just my opinion was they got Pittsburgh at the right time, catching them off guard. Flacco, I think Flacco's great as a backup with those wide receivers. He's a legit quarterback with those wide receivers. It's just that you know, they have zero defense, dude. Zero.
so where my thinking is the Steelers defense is where I have the issue on it. When in week 7, Chase Brown had 108 yards on 11 carries.
Yeah.
The Steelers have over their last 3 games, the Steelers have allowed 37.6 points per game.
I guess it's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. And I don't think the Steelers offense, even though Cincinnati's defense is kind of shitty,
You're
I
right.
don't think
Flacco is probably with those receivers better than Rodgers with his receivers.
and it looks like basically so the last 5 Bengals games have gone over the total. 7 of 2 or 7 of their last 9. I'm sorry, 7 of their last 8 have gone over the total. I think that I just gut feeling.
It's not a bad one to flip. I'm going to stick with Pittsburgh. We need the action, and I've got them very far apart on my board with it being in Pittsburgh. So once again, I gotta try to respect the methodology. But I probably, on that note, I probably should have been creeping Cincinnati up with Joe Flacco because he's honestly been very, very fucking serviceable for that offense. It's just that they got no fucking defense, man. But yeah, I hear you. I'm good with you flipping. I'm going to stay Pittsburgh.
And we have Texans at the Titans. For spreads 6.5 on the game. It looks like it's going to be closer than that. Off of a bye, the Titans are the last 10 years 8-1-1 against the spread.
Okay.
Following a bye. I just I liked I I've liked glimpses of what I've seen of Cam Ward, but I don't trust the Titans offense
No.
under Cam Ward. Is his name Cam Ward?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cam Ward. I was second guessing myself for a second, but I don't like I like glimpses, but I don't trust that offense.
No, Tennessee is like, last year Tennessee had a rocking defense and a solid running game. This year, the defense has like regressed a little bit, and the offense has done fucking nothing. Something about last year with Will Levis and Mason Rudolph had teams thinking, oh, we need to respect the passing game a little bit, which let them run the ball really well. This year, they're like, oh, Cam Ward, rookie, sucks ass. We're just going to load the box and stop the run. And then Cam Ward has like the random great throw to, Ianamor, or however you say his name or whatever. And other than that, nothing ever fucking happens with Tennessee. And so I just, I don't know. I don't care if Davis Mills is running it for Houston. You got to take the Texans, man. Tennessee is the bottom of the barrel on my board. Um, it's one of the worst teams I've seen in a long time. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I'll probably get burned because I just said that, but I can't go against that, man.
All right. Then we have how to refer to this game. We have the hospital game. Let's call it that.
Okay.
The
Yes, the infirmary
49ers
matchup. Yes.
infirmary matchup. That's the word I was looking for. 49ers at the Cardinals.
Yeah, I would say I'm a little nervous because we talked about how Jacoby Brissett actually makes Arizona look like a real football team all of a sudden,
Yeah.
right?
But here's the problem with this game. Jacoby Brissett has here's the problem for Arizona and for the 49ers. All they have to do is stop Trey McBride.
Yeah.
They have no other wide receivers. Harrison Jr.'s out because he had appendicitis. Zay Jones tore his Achilles. The problem is Fred Warner's not playing. And from some research I did, the 49ers are more susceptible against tight ends without Fred Warner recently. They've given up the third most touchdowns to tight ends of any team without Fred Warner in that span.
Yeah. I gotta give the edge to San Francisco. They
Yeah.
they have been, despite all the injuries, they keep finding ways to win, minus last week's ugly beatdown. They've been very competitive despite their adversity. Arizona, I think, has played inspiring football with Jacoby Brissett, but like you're saying, they're now a little bit hobbled.
Mhm.
And I would trust a hobbled 49ers team over a hobbled Arizona Cardinals team.
So with the spread being San Francisco by 2.5, it's going to be a super super close game. Probably most likely be a super close game. Over the last 11 games, Arizona as an underdog against the spread is 9-2.
Okay.
but I'm still going with San Francisco on it. I can't trust an offense that's focal point has to be the tight end.
Yeah, and I like Trey McBride. He's one of the best in the league, but you know, tight ends rarely carry the team like that. So,
The
yeah,
past 4 weeks, Trey McBride has been carrying the team, averaging 8 receptions for 82 yards and 1.25 touchdowns per game.
I know, but that's a touchdown a game's not winning the fucking game for you. That's the
Oh
problem.
no, no, I know. I just happened to.
Yeah. No, it's good that you had that stat. It's good that you had. All right, next up, my friend.
Next up, we have Seahawks at the Rams. 7-2 and 7-2. Seattle's
The
scoring defense.
Rams have been hot lately, dude. The Rams have been hot.
Seattle has the fifth ranked scoring defense this year.
Okay.
Stafford's been doing fucking phenomenal. 25 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
And the Rams defense has been heating up with sacks and whatnot. Um, it's in Los Angeles. I have these teams very close on my board, but I have the Rams above them, and it's in LA. I got to go Rams, otherwise I'd be disrespecting my process. Um, I have told you all year that maybe I've been discounting Seattle too much, but everybody I know has the Rams higher on their board, and so I gotta go LA in this game, my man.
Here's the thing: if this was in Seattle, I probably would have picked LA.
Really? Why?
Under McDonald, Seattle is current. Well, this year they're 4-0 on the road this year. Under McDonald, they're 11-1
Okay,
on the road. For some reason, they're a better team on the
they're dialed in when they're away.
yeah. So I'm going to
So
go
you're
with
taking the
Seattle.
Seahawks. Good for you. I'm sticking with LA.
And we have Baltimore at the Browns.
Yes. It's a
I'm not
divisional
doing
game, right? Anything can happen, but come on.
I'm not doing what I did last week and just oh well Baltimore is obviously going to win, so let's talk about this. Lamar Jackson apparently is going to be full strength this year. I told we've it's kind of it's okay for Baltimore. They're I'm sorry for Cleveland because their offense sucks. Baltimore's defense sucks.
Yeah,
Baltimore's offense sucks.
perfect matchup.
Cleveland's defense fucking phenomenal. We
But
don't even have.
how long can Cleveland's defense keep that team hanging in there? Eventually, Baltimore's going to get some points.
Over Miles Garrett over the past 9 games against Baltimore has recorded 8.5 sacks and 14 QB hits.
Good for him, man.
This year, the Ravens have allowed one more sack than they did all of last year.
Okay.
Oh shit! I might don't James stop.
Don't do it, dude. Don't do it. You're wanting to have like more than half the games be flipped. You're getting too aggressive.
It's been 5 years since Baltimore has swept Cleveland.
Okay, okay. Keep going. Keep going. Talk yourself into it. I'll let you do it. I'll let you do it. Just think about what you're doing.
I know. I'm trying not to. I'm really trying not to. I'm gonna go with Baltimore.
Okay.
10,
Okay. All
tentatively.
right. All right.
I might get some feelings before the game.
You're
Um,
gonna flip out on me next week when Cleveland upsets them. You're gonna be like, "Oh, fuck it, I told you so. Oh my God, holy shit!" And I'm just gonna be like, "Yeah, it's one game. You're down by fucking 20, dude." So, uh, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Don't do it.
yeah,
You're
I can't.
you're
I'm
already you're already picking like 8 different games this week, man.
Is it that
Like
many?
honestly, like usually when we have this much action, it like we both are like, oh man, it could like really swing one way or another. And usually it ends up like washing where it's like an even split, right? But it's like, dude, you could have one of these things go the wrong way, and you're like, holy shit, I just had 9 more games go against me. Like I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm just saying you know, I don't know. You can flip to Cleveland. I like I said earlier, I like the way you're analyzing these games because it reminds me of the way you did it in past seasons, which tells me that this week maybe you're getting back onto like that magic that you used to have. I think the Baltimore Cleveland game is you're reaching hard for something. You're reaching hard for it, my man.
I do think you're right. Like I probably reaching hard on it. Um,
If you feel
just
it,
saying.
you can flip. I'm just saying. And you have until Sunday, you got time. It's a divisional game. You never know. Divisional games are very unpredictable.
I'll stick with Baltimore. Maybe on Sunday I'll wake up drunk or hungover and go somewhere else with it. But
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I'm not going to do it right now while I'm mostly sober. I'm going to do it when I'm fucking drunk, hungover. That's when I'm going to flip it and fucking put all my money on it. Ow! Okay. I'm going, obviously, I'm going Baltimore.
yeah, then we have the Chiefs at the Broncos, and I
Yeah.
was all set to pick the Broncos to win this game.
Okay, okay. And then you realize that Denver's a fourth quarter team that barely scores points. Kansas City's hot lately, minus the Buffalo game, and you decided that's the way you want to go.
J.K. Dobbins is out. Alex Singleton, linebacker, leading tackler, is out. Patrick Surtain is out.
Rise above, rise above.
Sad news. The reason Singleton is out is because he had surgery on Monday to
Yes,
remove a
fucking
testicle tumor.
yeah. Okay, you say sad news, but also they found out about that because of what?
I don't know. So before we were so rudely interrupted,
Yes.
um,
Fucking
and
say what? Did I say that out loud?
you were asking me how Singleton found out about
Yeah,
this
if you
particular
knew,
case.
because yeah, it
If I
was,
knew,
yeah, it was a good thing, right?
yeah. So apparently, he had a random drug test, part of the NFL's drug testing policy, and
Yeah.
he was given notice that he had elevated levels of HCG, and he knew. He was like, I knew there was nothing I put in my body that would do that.
Something's wrong. Let's go
Something's
get
wrong.
checked out.
Went to a doctor. Fucking's like, oh, you have signs of testicular cancer. Fucking
Possibly saving his fucking life, man.
possibly saving his life. But then he had found out, and he waited till after the Raiders game. Was it? Is that who they played?
Last week, yeah.
Yeah. So he played in the Raiders game, and then had the surgery on Friday. I just said Monday, but
Yeah.
saved his fucking life. Good for him. The other thing I had
It's kind of like it's not like a happy accident, but it's kind of like that, right? Like had he not been selected for a random drug test, who the fuck knows if or when he would have found out about it, right?
yeah, no, exactly.
But yeah, you're taking Kansas City, I'm taking Denver.
Right. Because it's really, if Kansas City wants to have a shot at the division at all, it's a must win game. And Kansas City steps up in their must win games. And
It's a good point, but I'm gonna go with Denver. I think times are changing.
you could be right. I'm just going with Kansas City because
Yeah,
I
they might
think
not be changing that much. They could still s- fucking wild card their way to the fucking Super Bowl. You never know, right?
true. All right, then we're on to the Sunday night game.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, I didn't update the
Lions,
times here, by the way. I just like
yeah,
inserted a row and it gave us two 8:20 Sunday games, but the times are not what matters here. It's the matchups.
Philadelphia is the only NFC team the Lions have not beat since Dan Campbell's been coach of the
Okay.
Lions. 0-2 against Philadelphia. They lost 44-6 in 21, and then by a field goal in 22. That being said, according to the ESPN FPI prediction, Philadelphia, their modeling or their simulations of it, Philadelphia won the game 50.8% of the time by an
That's
average of zero point 0.7 points.
yeah, it's splitting hairs
It's really splitting hairs.
in the simulation.
I just don't like what I'm hearing out of Philadelphia with AJ Brown and all this.
Yeah, he's pissed that it's not a pass first offense, but come on. That's how they've been, man. That's how they've been forever, dude.
Yeah, and that's how they were last year. They're so the Eagles have turned over the fewest in the NFL this season, and their fewest through 9 games in franchise history 4 times only, which is not boding well.
So I picked Detroit. This
I'm with
was
Detroit
this was
too.
an override for me. And when I look at my board, I say it's an override because I got Philly at 3 and Detroit at 6, and it's in Philly. So there's no reason for me to normally pick Detroit in this. And I did the override because if I'm ever going to override a game now, I got to do it for the Lions. And that's
Here's
that's
the
all this is for me.
here's the thing about it. The Lions in primetime games under Dan Campbell are 12-4 against the spread, 13-3 outright.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
I'm with the Lions.
It's a great
I think
choice.
I think with the run first offense in Philadelphia and how Detroit's better against the run than the pass, I think that helps the Lions.
Yeah, but you know what? Jalen Hurts is, when he needs to pass, he's fucking really good at passing. It's just, I could make the case all day that Philly should win this game. I'm just going Detroit because I can't not go Detroit, even though my model says I would pick Philly normally.
Yeah, I just if it wasn't prime time, I might have more pause with picking Detroit.
Yeah.
But seeing as though it is a primetime game and Detroit excels at primetime, I'm going to go with Detroit.
Yes, it's a great choice, like I said.
Then we
Tuesday, Monday
have
night.
the Monday night matchup of the Cowboys at the Raiders.
Montag, as the Germans would say. Yes. It's not in Germany, but yeah, keep going.
Apparently, I've missed this week. The Raiders got rid of got rid of their special teams coordinator
Oh yeah, big move.
uh, after the block punt and missed field goal in the fourth quarter. Wow. Ashton Genty accounts for 70% of the team's rushing yards, which is third highest of any player this year, behind the Colts, behind Jonathan Taylor and Aching.
Yeah, but that's because they're barely fucking rushing anything, dude. And he's had a couple of games where he's popped, and it's just there's no one else. It's not like they're fucking lighting the world on fire with rushing yards. You know,
The Raiders,
they're very anemic on offense. And as I'm saying that, you can see the spreadsheet. I'm picking the Raiders, right? And you know, my gut is telling me that my gut is telling me that I've discounted Dallas too much to this point in the year to have them close enough that I would flip it to the home team because I've got Dallas a couple spots ahead of the Raiders on my power rankings. And so if it was in Dallas, it would for sure go to Dallas. But because it's in Vegas and they're within a couple spots on my power rankings, I'm flipping it. And so it's a very close game for me. But my gut tells me Dallas should fucking win this game because of how anemic the Raiders have been offensively. But I'm still respecting my process. Like I said, the override I'm doing is for Detroit only, so I'm going Raiders.
where where I lean towards the Cowboys was where the Cowboys excel is really in the passing game.
Yes,
And the Raiders have the Raiders secondary has allowed the fourth most receptions to receivers in the league and the fourth most fantasy points per game to receivers.
sure.
I just gut's telling me Cowboys. It's off a bye, off of the tragic Marshawn Nealand situation.
Yeah, that sucked.
Um,
Yeah. I think you go in Dallas is solid. It's I don't know. Like I said, if it was in the different city, I'd probably take Dallas, but it just I'm trying hard to respect my process, even though my gut tells me the Raiders are just so bad. Dallas is very dysfunctional, but they should be better. You just don't know. You just don't know. So I'm going Raiders. You're going Cowboys. It's all good.
yeah. Then we go to the Thursday. Then we go to the Thursday night. Bills at the Texans.
Yes.
This is the end of a decently hard stretch for the Bills. No, never mind. They played Miami. I forgot about that. So I thought I just when I was saying that forgot about the
But
Dolphins
they
game.
lost to Miami, so it was
They
kind
lost
of
to
hard for
Miami.
them.
But they played the Chiefs the week before. They play
Yeah,
the Bucks this week. They play the Texans next week. Then they play the Steelers.
sure.
And then they got the Patriots in
Look,
2 weeks after
Josh
that.
Allen goes down this week. Maybe I flip my pick to Houston. Otherwise, I'm going Buffalo.
Yeah, I can't justify picking Houston
Yeah.
and
Unless Buffalo, I mean, it's just Buffalo does not have like some cushy, like lead on the AFC where they could just like afford to lose a game to fucking Houston, man. They need to take this game seriously. And so,
They're
unless Josh Allen's,
technically 2 games behind New England right now because
yeah,
they're
yeah,
nine. No, what?
New England's 9-2, man.
Oh yeah, because New England played last night. I was like, how is New England 9-2
Yeah,
and Buffalo's only 6-3? Because New England beat the Patriots. I'm sorry, the Patriots beat New England beat the Patriots. New England beat the Bills
yes.
earlier in the season, and
They got him by
they're
the balls right now, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're technically 2 games ahead of them because if it ties, they have to win one more game or a half more game than
yeah.
or 1.5, call it, and they got to play the Patriots. They have no ground to lose here
No, they
at
they
all.
gotta they gotta dial it in. And so, you know,
And they also have a couple tough games coming. They still got to play the Patriots. They have to play the Eagles second to last week of the season. Like
yeah.
those are games that they could lose and really
So
lose the division.
they can't afford to fuck up another one like they did last week to Miami.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's no way Buffalo's going to beat Houston unless like half Buffalo gets hurt this week.
And you never know, they might because Buffalo does this shit. But it's when you got to pick the game, you got to go with that, right? And so I got to go Buffalo. I think you're going Buffalo too.
Yeah, I'm going Buffalo too. And I think also New England has an easier schedule than Buffalo remaining.
Yeah, New England has definitely flipped the fucking script for that division, dude. And I like it. I fucking like it.
The only real tough, okay, outside of playing Buffalo, they play Buffalo, Buffalo, and the Ravens, in a couple like back to back. They
Yeah.
have New England has the Bengals, the Giants, the Jets, and the Dolphins remaining outside of
That's
those two.
that's very cushy. That's probably about as soft as it could get for a remaining schedule.
Yeah, and they have a bye before the Buffalo game.
Yeah. I think New England is in the fucking catbird seat, man.
Mm-hmm. Motherfuckers are back.
I like it. They got fucking Vrabel, dude. I like it. I don't care for Kraft that much, but I like Vrabel. I like Drake May. I like Trevion Henderson. Like there's good stories in New England, man.
There's a lot of good stories. I mean, I like Vrabel. Like, I think
Yeah.
that's a knockout coaching pick. Like we
I thought
talked
they
about
were
it.
going to be good, but man, I did not think he would be fucking 9-2. I
I
thought
didn't
they'd
think
be
they'd be
like a
9-2.
game above 500 by now.
I gained 2 games above 500. That's about where I had them. Like
Yeah.
I
Just
knew.
because of the state of the roster, right? It was
Mhm.
like such an uphill battle, but dude, he is just crushing it, man.
No, 100%. Shocking. All
All
right,
right, those are the
that's our
picks.
picks. Hopefully, I
Finito
gain.
Bitson. Yes.
Hopefully, I gain some on you.
Oh,
Um,
hopefully, yeah. No, hopefully not.
it's getting close to where I'm going to have to pick every game against whatever you pick. So
Okay.
it's getting close to it.
So you're
20.
telling me that I can just start flipping a coin and just see, oh, I guess James picking the other way. Oh, I guess James is picking the other way. No big deal. Oh, I guess James picking the other way. And we'll just see what happens.
It's getting close. Getting close.
All right. And I like I said, I do try to get you the picks early because historically our precedent is whoever is leading has the onus on them to get the picks out first so that the other guy can take some time and maybe try to find where they're going to you know, snipe some picks, right? And so I'm going to keep trying to get them to you early to give you time. This week things just got away from me and it took until yesterday. So,
Oh, it's not a big deal. Like as you could tell, I did a little bit more analyzing the matchups this week. Hopefully, that's my
I'm
key.
glad you did, my man. I'm glad you did. It probably felt good doing it, man. You probably liked it.
Yeah, it's been a long fucking time I've dove in the numbers and not just gone 100% off gut instinct.
Yeah, it helps. It always helps. All right.
You sure?
Nobody's watching. So don't worry
Like,
about
subscribe, like,
don't worry
subscribe.
about hitting subscribe or like or thumbs up or whatever because you're not even watching, you sons of bitches. Peace out.
Gridiron Grinder. Hut hut hike.